Okay, everyone, it's New Mutator here. Thanks for watching. This is a flag rally on Acts of Cruelty, one of my favorite maps, games to play. Uh, I'm That's not true at all, but this is a favorite to play in a tournament two-team setting. So I kind of expected it would have been chosen eventually, although this is one of my least favorite game types slash maps to play. And we can see Solus are going to focus down the ambient spiders everywhere. Game 4. This is game 4, that is, between Milkman and Rat King. So we have Milkman starting up in the northeast and Rat King in the southwest. I believe the teams are relatively the same here. Although, was Sam the Butcher in the last game? I don't know if he was. There were some like re-hosting issues. Here's the other thing to keep in mind. There were more than 16 people trying to play. And there is a cap, 16 player cap for these games. That's just the way the meta server is set up and has been since the dawn of this game. That could be potentially changed or altered in a new meta server, but I'm not sure if that will actually happen anytime soon. It may happen. You know, it's the potential is there, but it would essentially break compatibility with MariusNet, which is kind of where these games are played at the current moment. And so, keeping that in mind, the 16 player cap, we kind of advertised that these games would be played on Saturdays, and we had like quite a number of people show up who were not able to play. I know Vantobia, for instance, wanted to play. He wasn't able to play. And so when we rehosted, I think we rehosted on Gamers Host at one point, instead of I don't know who was hosting before. Maybe it was Milkman, I'm not sure. But we had to basically close the game and start up another game. Everyone joined, but some people were not able to join who were in there before, and we actually passworded this game, but we had a few. So there could be a few like roster, people displacing other people throughout the rest of these games. Not too many, as the teams are relatively constant. But like for instance, Sam the Butcher wasn't in the previous game, but he is in this game. And I'm not really sure. I think everything else is pretty much the same. So I'm not sure who he's displacing, to be honest. No, Scratch is there. Mercardon is there.
Game.
So I don't really know. Anyway, the way this game works, it's flag rally and acts of cruelty. So basically, teams are gonna get a couple whites, probably. Although Milkman didn't get any. No, he did get one. Okay. And they're gonna move them so that they don't do any damage to their own units and pop them. And hope to get some pus packets from that. Some, at least some small ones, if not some large ones. There are ambient. I think there were like maybe 2. Or was that only 1? Yeah, I guess it was only 1 white. There are some ambient pus packets, like for instance, there's one there. And there's, I think there's like maybe two of them.
Flag captured.
But what you're going to do with the pus is try to focus down these forest giants and freeze them so that your team can move in with melee and clean them up, because they are going to be the number one
captured.
The number one target on these maps, since they're so fast and so overpowered. Like, they can clean up a whole force all by themselves. So we see Adrenaline here. He has one. He's going to be taunting. Opposite him is Giant Killer General with one of his own. And so since it is flag rally, you want to leave enough defense on your flags to prevent something like that from happening. You want to keep tabs on the whereabouts of the other team's forest giants first and foremost, above and beyond everything else. And you want to prevent easy tags on your flags. So we have this flag being defended. We're also going to defend this middle flag here. Doesn't look like they're going to be defending all that much, as we are able to run in and basically take this flag. I think Rat King has the other forest giant, and Mercardon has the other one for Milkman's team. So yeah, you know, and look at this. I only got 6% this game. I think I got some Thrall, of course, and this guy here, this mortar. And I think this game, yeah, so Kruniak, this is Kruniak, he's going to start moving down with his forces. Adrenaline's going to, you know, maybe put some pressure, but Kruniak does have these Puskals, so he is going to back out. He doesn't want to get stuck in there. But, so I move out with my Mortar Dwarf because I'm thinking if I can do some damage, some preliminary damage, like that'd be pretty good. Then I realized that, you know, Kruniak actually kind of has a high ground advantage, but I'm like, you know what? It's not so bad. That's not so bad. I turn around and wait for him, and then we trade shots, so we end up killing each other, which I figured, you know, that's a fair trade. I don't really want... At least I did some damage with my Mortar Dwarf. So yeah, we have these forces here. This is a Gamer and Renwood kind of in the middle here. And I'm not sure if we tagged the middle. Yeah, we did tag the middle as flag 1.
Captured.
So, yep. All of a sudden we're down on flags, but we do have this force here trying to move in and snipe that Mortar Dwarf. Now there are some Solace. I didn't see if we took Solace. I imagine that we might have, but we also might not have. You know what? I'm starting to think that we didn't actually take Solace this game, as Giant Killer General is going to be able to focus down. It looks like this Rat King's Forest Giant, and look how close to death it is. Like, Rat King is basically taken out of the game. He's going to be stoned in like one more hit. Adrenaline going to back out, maybe throw down a Pus, but there's enough Puskals here with Murkerdon and Giant Killer General to kind of make that difficult for him to pull off. So that was a wasted Pus there by Adrenaline, as Giant Killer General is going to chase him away. A little bit of damage being dealt there by that goal, but in the end not a whole lot. So what I did is I moved my goal down here because I wanted to... I think I picked up a small Pus packet, and I wanted to throw that down perhaps and maybe do some damage, but it just bounces off. It doesn't actually freeze. So I was hoping to maybe freeze it, pick it up again, and run away. But that didn't work out. Giant Killer General slapped my goal. So he's going to try to move out offensively. At the same time, this flag is going to be difficult for Kruniak to take with the Thrall Elite on the flag, and then these forces backing it up. Donsky is going to run in and save the flag, it looks like, along with Adrenaline and Rat King. It looks like they are going to be able to clean up Kruniak here, although Kruniak is going to try to focus down those Forest Giants if he gets the opportunity. At the same time, we have Giant Killer General attempting to do some damage, taking a little bit of damage himself. And actually that was a pretty good shot. Pretty good shot there by, I'm guessing that was Donsky's unit. So these, uh-oh, did a little bit of friendly fire damage there. So if we look at Giant Killer General, he's in a pretty good spot. I'm trying to push him off the flag, but I realize he can just stand up on the high ground and deal some damage. So I try to get a few nicks in there while preventing that from happening. And yeah, it's relatively, I mean, it's pretty close. It's pretty close right now. Kruniak is going to move in, although there are enough forces on the flag. If that was really close, actually. If Rat King had moved off the flag, Kruniak would have tagged that. So it looks like Kruniak is going to focus down Rat King, but lose many of his units in the process. So I'd say that was a pretty fair trade, since Rat King, his Forest Giant had limited utility at that point since it was so low on health. Donsky's going to try to move out with his Puskal and maybe throw it down on that Mortar Dwarf, perhaps. Some nice damage there on those Zerks. Actually, Donsky doing a bait and switch, able to move in. Father Exum is able to clean up that that Mortar Dwarf without losing that Pus packet, so that was actually pretty good. Meanwhile, there's a lot of stuff happening in Milkman's backfield as well, as we have here Paladise trying to do some damage on Gamer. but he's going to disengage right now, and Gamer is going to reinforce with a few more berserks. So Paladise needs to be careful. He's probably going to go to Kramisi's unit, but there's not a whole lot. It's very limited. His options are very limited at this point, as he could be Gamer's Mordordorf could pose a problem. Oh, he spared it to Mercadon. Now this is where most of the action happened at this point. This flag here, flag 6, as Milkman did move out with his Solus, and he was able to get this high ground here, which is basically a great spot for his Solus because he can just focus down these forces with relative ease from the safety of this impassable terrain. So he's going to do some damage here, though Adrenaline and Donsky are going to reinforce this flag with their mortar doors and try to prevent that from going down. 37% across the board here, so I'm guessing that most of the Forest Giants have been taken out at this point. I might be wrong, but that's my guess. And yeah, you know, Paladise is still running around. You know, maybe a few units less than he would have otherwise, although Gamer is going to do nothing to these units. I thought he was going to shoot, but I guess not. What a weird game this was. Yeah, so 10 is going to try to defend against Renwood with this Soul unit there. And I have my Thrall here just kind of as cover for 10, basically. Sam the Butcher gets through, but his unit's nearly dead. So, yeah. Indeed. Ah! Looks like a couple of Forest Giants had a little powwow here. Return to the earth. And I'm not sure what Milkman, why he's moving out like this. Maybe he realizes that he doesn't want to die to Adrenaline, so I'm not sure why. That's my guess, is he wants to basically not die here. So I guess this was not a good place for him to be. So right now it looks really good for us, although, you know, there's 2 minutes left and we're not in the lead. We are in the lead percentage-wise, but we need to take a flag. And we may be able to do so here, but we have to be careful because Gamer could get a really nice shot off. Although, Kermisi going to try to snipe. Oh, almost blocked it. But actually that was a minimum of damage here. And then also, Donsky was able to clean up that one Berserk. And it looks like Father Xmas might take this. Oh no, very close though. Nice taunt by Gamer there at the end. Pretty close, but Gamer is able to defend. As Kermisi was over here, he was able to take flag 3, which is great for our team since now we're in the lead with 5 percentage points also. So what happens is I realize that down here probably needs some help against these Solus, so I send a few more of these guys just to soak up some damage, hand them off to Adrenaline or something, because I realized that it could be kind of a precarious situation. There's not a whole lot there. There's a couple of really close to dead Thralls, so I wanted to just move in with some fresh Thrall to prevent that from falling. At the same time, we have enough forces on this flag where it's not going to be taken at all. Like we have 10 here, and you know, only a couple of Giant Killer General Solus there to attack. But actually, Adrenaline doing a pretty good job dodging with those Thrall. And yeah, in the end, this flag was captured. Amazingly enough, Gamer walks off the flag as Donsky chases him away. Paladise with some more units there. But Mercadon actually was off the flag also. This flag actually might have been defended. Might have been. But even if it had been, the advantage was with us and they needed to press somewhere. So they attempted to press here. Not going to happen anytime soon. They could have tried going here, but that probably wouldn't have happened as there's not enough offensively to take either of these flags. So even if they had defended this flag, we still would have been in the lead by 1 flag, I think. Since, yeah, they needed flag 6 and 7, and we only needed flag 2. So we did end up taking that flag. Some pretty good dancing around it, though. Yep, this game goes to Rat King. So yep, 3 games to 1. That's gonna be it for Myth Kickballers Week 3. Although we are going to I am going to cast Game 5 just for kicks to show you what happened. And yeah. Interesting. So let's look at some of these players. Looks like Giant Killer General doing the best on his team. 117 damage, 10 kills, 3 losses. Yeah, that's going to be more than anybody else. But you know what? If we look, they actually had more kills than losses overall on their team. 42 kills, 41 losses. And we actually had fewer kills than losses for our team, Rat King's team, even though we had a percentage advantage. I think some of that is because of we took Thrall. We took a lot of Thrall and stuff, and no Solus, so there's not going to be any unit trading points tied up in something a little bit more expensive like Solus. And as you can see, we actually had more damage than Milkman's team, so that's kind of how that translates. For our team, nobody did quite as well as Giant Killer General did. I think he trumped everybody in this game, but Adrenaline actually did pretty well with 98 damage, 6 kills for him, 2 losses. And Donsky actually doing really well also, 9 kills and 0 losses, so he might be MVP. Kremisi had a lot of damage, 82, but 14 losses for him with only 5 kills. And as you can see, I hardly did anything. My only kill was on that Kruniak's Mortar Dwarf. So yeah, not a whole lot going on there. Okay, that's going to be it for game number 4, everyone. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you in game number 5.
Game over.